Folks, welcome into That Betting Show's July 4th, 2019 edition. Your one-stop shop for all your sports betting needs. He's Teddy Savranti. Give him a follow on Twitter at Teddy_covers. I'm Donnie Seymour at Right Side VP. It's Kawhi Watch Day 4. And how about those Nationals? Don't sleep on them. Strasburg with 14 Ks and another win. They're actually playing as we're filming right now at 11 a.m. in the nation's capital. But let's get right to the hot topics. Watching Major League Baseball last night, the Cubs use a catcher in right field and it bites them. It looked like a genius move by Joe Madden, as you saw Contreras gun a guy down at the plate in the 8th inning, then can't track down a fly ball. Teddy, in the 9th inning, leads to a rally, and that's a lot of money for Craig Kimbrell out there, Teddy.
Yeah, it sure is. And look, it's worth noting with Kimbrell, the two teams that knew him best, Atlanta and Boston, the two teams that he pitched on prior to his tenure in Chicago, they both had some needs in the bullpen. They both could have signed Kimbrell, and they both chose to go in a different direction, which may mean something moving forward from a guy who's obviously struggling right now. Joe Madden, after the loss, the 4th straight for the Cubs, the 3rd straight in this series, quote, "You get back in the huddle. That's all you can do. You don't cry. You don't throw things. You get back in the huddle, and you come back tomorrow and try to win that last game of the series." Of course, it's a difficult loss, but you have to process it and come back out and play again. Not much time for the Cubs to process it. Early start afternoon game in Pittsburgh today.
Yeah, some teams looking to finally get to that, 4th of July break and then the All-Star break to try to get some downtime built in. But it was an interesting game to watch overall yesterday. Chris Bryant is back in the lineup today for the Chicago Cubs, so we'll see if that does make a difference. Take a deep breath, Teddy, of course. Look, it can't go any higher, right? 14.5, they'll get that easy. Look at those. And then you see baseball come back with a little bit of regression. 4-2, Teddy. What happened up there in Colorado? It was hitting weather. The wind was blowing out. Wade Miley was on the mound versus a young rookie. How about that? Good bullpen work. No Coors Magic yesterday. How about that?
And look, started out like the same way every other game started out for the Rockies of late. They had 5 runs by the top of the 3rd. But, I mean, let's give credit to the two bullpens, and particularly Colorado's bullpen was great yesterday, which they haven't been, obviously. And then Miley, who the advanced metric markets continue to despise. He was sensational. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. Worth noting, talking about some of these trends that you want to be riding or paying attention to. The Astros now 15-3, their last 18 tries as road chalk. The Rockies just 10-23, their last 33 as home dogs.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you take a look and try to bet games at Coors Field. Teddy, just from your perspective there, because it's a unique environment, as we all know. The ball travels much further, and as you see, the totals are much higher. Whether or not you're taking a pitcher who's used to pitching there or a pitcher hasn't been in elevation, just take maybe a minute to take a look at maybe your, handicap and prowess when you say, you know what, this game's at Coors. Here's what I look for when I try to bet a game, whether it's side or total there.
Oh, I'm definitely looking at pitcher's track record in this field. I remember a couple of weeks ago when Ryu had been shutting down everybody, and he went up to Coors Field, and he's like, oh, look at his track record. He got an ERA of 12, and he got bombed as worst start of the season there. So I will always look at a pitcher's previous track record on this field. It's not infallible. It's not perfect, but I rarely take a pitcher in their first start at Coors unless I'm fading them. And in general, I want to know how a pitcher has been able to handle the nuances of pitching in altitude where your pitches just don't break the same way. So track record for me, very important.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, by the way, Teddy, as we're filming right now, the hot dog competition is getting underway. Now, usually we don't pick out any topics since the show is not going to air until well after these end. But I thought it was, 4th of July, get into the mix. I'm seeing the introductions right now, and I do want to bring up some interesting points here. Joey Chestnut is a minus 1,200 here, Teddy, versus the field on this 4th of July event. The second place guy plus 700 to win, which is Matt Stoney. But I like to break down stuff. Like, we're handicappers and try to get after it in your best of your knowledge, because it's really hot, Teddy. It's really muggy. And also, let's remember, it's already been done. The women's total stayed well under the number by 6 or 7 hot dogs. If you're handicapping this competition, Teddy, and you're looking at it, is humidity making a difference for you here in this one?
No. I mean, I can't think so. But let's talk about the fact that we're betting on this because it's fun. Mm-hmm. And look, no one's going to get rich betting the hot dog competition. No one's going to go broke hopefully betting the hot dog competition. It's just action, okay? All books want is action, a fair competition, and they can live off the vig. It's no big deal, New Jersey. Jersey, of course, wouldn't allow betting for whatever. I still don't understand the reason behind it for the hot dog eating competition. Is it fixed? What's the rationale? It's a head scratcher for this better.
No, it's absolutely a head scratcher. I'll tell you the bigger head scratcher, Teddy. I try to wrap my, because look, I like to eat. Most people out there like to eat. We love the barbecue. Maybe you throw it on a burger, maybe 2 burgers and a hot dog. I still can't compute, Teddy, in my mind, finishing off 74 hot dogs. And we're not talking about, Teddy, over a month or 2 months. We're talking about 10 minutes. How about in just the first minute alone, Teddy? He's supposed to knock down 9.5 hot dogs, Joey Chestnut. Now, barbecuing today, 4th of July, out there in Las Vegas. Are you going after some sort of competition here with the family, Teddy, or no?
No. What do I got, 3? Look at me, man. When the wind blows, I got to barely hang on. No. I'm not going to be chowing. And mind you, I'm not going to be chowing a hot dog eating competition. But worth noting, if he finishes 74 hot dogs today, it stays under the total, which is 74.5.
My goodness. Yeah, something to keep an eye on. It'll be done, obviously, by the time we film here, but always fun to talk about here on the 4th of July. You know what's even more fun to talk about, Teddy? Top 20 college football preview right here on That Betting Show. You know whose team it is today? Pretty good one here in the Washington Huskies. 33-1 ticket to win the 2019 NCAA title. Huskies team total. How about this one? Double digits and heavily juiced at -160. Washington finished 10-4 last year in 2018, 7-2 in the Pac-12, winning the conference. Chris Peterson's a really good football coach, entering into his 6th year on the job. How do you get over losing a starting quarterback that you had for a while? Get a pretty good one by transfer. And coming in there from Georgia, Jacob Eason's going to feel that. Running back is in good hands as well. Look, Myles Gaskins was really good at Washington, Teddy, as we know. The all-time leading rusher, but they have some pretty good ones behind them. A lot of pass receivers coming back to make that transition smooth. But the one interesting thing that you watched last year from Washington is how well they play defense, Teddy. They're going to need a lot of changes there on defense to try to keep up with the 2018 mark. But also, as we talk about gamblers here, and when you're looking at those team totals, how about getting Oregon at home, Teddy, Utah at home, and also your rival, Washington State, all at home?
Make no mistake about it, Donnie. The Washington Huskies are facing their biggest rebuild in the Chris Peterson era. His 6 years on the job. They lost 13 starters, including 9 on the defensive side of the football. And remember, the defense is what carried that team last year. So there are big graduation losses for the reigning Pac-12 champs to overcome. That being said, there sure are a lot of pieces in place. You talk about the quarterback, Jacob Eason. And again, he hasn't really played in 2 years. He got hurt in 2017 and then transferred last year. But all the reports out of spring ball with Eason was lighting up the defense and is throwing the football around. The offensive line in front of him, as elite as it gets in the Pac-12. They got 4 returning starters, and the 5th guy has 32 starts under his belt, and he was just hurt last year. That is an elite OL, which makes me less concerned about the loss of Myles Gaskin at running back. They'll find some skills and talent. I do worry about their receiving core. I don't see anyone in that receiving core that stands out on paper prior to the season. Defensively, there are some concerns as well. Again, this was a truly elite defense. And yeah, there's a ton of talent up front, but they did graduate most of what they had. The linebacking core needs to be rebuilt. The secondary needs to be rebuilt. There's talent there for Peterson to work with. And the schedule is friendly for the Washington Huskies. This team has an enormous potential this year. They could really overachieve. They could beat anyone on their schedule. They could also take a step back. So the Huskies are a team, for me, coming into the campaign, I don't have a strong bet on, bet against. This is a watch and learn team early on. Maybe we'll be able to make some money with them as September rolls along.
Teddy, the one thing watching and learning with the Washington Huskies, I did make some good money on them, but January 1st, 2019 was not one of those days. As I took the dog for a walk, Teddy, up 21-3 at the half with a -6 in my pocket for the Ohio State Buckeyes, 28-3 in the third quarter. And I don't think we want to go over what happened in the fourth quarter, including a 2-point conversion intercepted that could have been returned to cover my spread. That's neither here nor there. Yeah, look, it's just the way it is in college football sometimes. Let's flip it over here to SBRodds.com and check those overnight line movers, Teddy, because they're always on the move. The best place on the internet to get those odds changes because they're moving 24/7 even on the 4th of July. Total dropping in Oakland. The total opens, Teddy, at 10, dips to 9. Now we're seeing a shift back at SBRodds.com at 9.5. Going to be Barrios and Anderson today in the afternoon.
Yeah, and Anderson, 0-4 with a 7.13 ERA. The markets are saying he's better than those numbers, significantly better. He's only got a 3.91 xFIP. So when your xFIP is like 3.5 runs lower than your ERA, the market's likely to pay attention, hence some under money in this one. Of course, Barrios, he's seen some concerns. His strikeout rate's down a little bit. His ground ball rate's down a little bit. The White Sox roughed him up last time out. I'm not surprised there's two-way action after that total got bet down, I should say. It's been bet back up a little bit with some of those concerns about Barrios.
Second game we'll take a look at SBRodds.com. Line moving in the Blue Jays' direction today, Teddy, on the fourth. Boston opens up around a -125. Now we're down around that -105, -105 split as a pick'em. Red Sox and the Blue Jays, as we always like to see. The total's at 10, and some odds showing even on SBRodds.com, Teddy, at 10.5. Why? That roof is open. That heat and humidity is going to come in about 82 degrees at first pitch. Velasquez versus Stroman today.
Yeah, and, Stroman has been he's been under a ton of trade rumors of late. He has pitched well against Boston. He's won 2 pair of starts against the Red Sox already this season, allowing just 1 run over 12 innings. That continues a long-term track record of success against this Boston squad. It's worth noting, with Stroman, there was concerns about whether he was going to be healthy. He left his last outing in the 5th inning. He had a left shoulder pectoral cramp. Blue Jays said he's probably going to make his next start. Then Montoyo on Wednesday said, if he doesn't start tomorrow, we don't know. We're going to take our time with Stroman. He threw 200 innings a year, so there's no reason to rush him. We want to make sure he's 100%. If he goes out there, you can expect him to bring his A game. That's what the market's doing right now with the Toronto money. If he doesn't go out there, well, all the money they just bet on Stroman, they're not going to worry about because it will be an off pitcher for Toronto.
Phillies and the Braves both go for the series win today, splitting the first 2 games. The Phillies in a 2-0 victory game 1, 9-2 last night, shellacking by the Braves over the Philadelphia Phillies. Braves open as high as -180, but now we're checking SBRodds.com right now. We're seeing -161s, -158s in that area. A total posted at 10, now sitting, Teddy, at 10.5. It's going to be Eflin and Soroka. Soroka's been really good on the mound. Let's see if those Phillies bats can come back, or the Braves going to get another game lead on those Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, and the markets have been fading Soroka because his advanced metrics aren't as good as his straight-up numbers. And Eflin's a guy, he's had some ugly overall numbers, and he's had some really bad starts. Spent time on the injured list into early June. Since that time, 4 quality starts in his last 5 trips to the Hills. He did have 1 rough outing with the Mets, but the Phillies haven't been winning for him, just 2-6. His last 8 trips to the Hill. I'm surprised at this much money coming for the Phillies here, but at the same time, Soroka, not a wise guy favorite, and Eflin's a guy who they seem to be paying a lot of attention to. That's the money for Philadelphia.
Also, Teddy, as we're keeping it updated here, the hot dog competition is going on, and I know you would want to know this, but Joey Chestnut hit the over of 9.5 by eating 11 hot dogs in the first minute. Gives me something to shoot for a little bit later at my barbecue. Watch what you bet here right on that betting show at SBRodds.com. Pittsburgh goes for the series sweep here, Teddy. A 4-game sweep at that. If we take a look today, the Pirates plus 114, total of 9.5. It's going to be an afternoon game at PNC Ballpark in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Cubs can't get out of their own way on the road, Teddy. 16-26 on the road this year. The Pirates 42-43 on the season. Quintana versus Lyles.
Well, first of all, I'm taking the under 11 hot dogs in the first minute for you at your barbecue this afternoon, yeah. And I'll take that for the limit. When it comes to the Cubs and the Pirates, look, the Pirates are only 2 games behind the Cubs right now. They've won 10 of their last 13. They're playing really good ball. Corey Dickinson, quote, guys just show up to compete every day. He had the sacrifice fly, 2nd run of the 9th last night. Jordan Lyles, 2nd start since coming off the injured list. He pitched well last time out in Milwaukee. He gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. Clint Hurdle, quote, I was very encouraged by his body of work. I think he got into a good rhythm. He used all his pitches, his fastball. He used it to the 4 spots. Cubs, some injury concerns. Chris Bryant sat yesterday. Jason Hayward sat yesterday. Don't know if either one of those guys is going to play today. The early reports on Bryant is that he should be in the lineup, and that's some of the Cubs' money that's coming in. But it's worth noting, Quintana's coming off a really impressive performance. Had a 6-game losing streak prior to his last start, and he was brilliant against the Reds. 6 scoreless innings, didn't give up any extra base hits, didn't give up any walks in that game. His quote, I needed an outing like that to get my confidence back. My focus was on 1 pitch at a time. I had confidence. My stuff worked really good. Worth noting, he threw just 50 fastballs compared to 51 off-speed pitches. Joe Maddon's quote after the game, the big takeaway is to pitch. Don't just rely on your fastball so heavily all the time. And I think as he goes further along into his career, as he does that, the fastball's still going to play up, but these other pitches make it play up even more. Worth noting, Quintana does have a pretty good track record against current Pirates, holding Pittsburgh to a combined like 660 OPS and a decent 98 at-bat sample size.
Inspired Angels, Teddy, look to make it a sweep on Thursday. The Angels and the Rangers. Rangers favored by minus 121 today. Total of 10.5. 8:05 tonight from Globe Life Park. The Angels are 44-43 on the season. The Rangers 46-40. Also noted 28-17 at home. Going to be Canning versus Lynn on the mound today, Teddy.
Yeah, and I mean, the Angels, like, the hits keep coming. All right, you lose Tyler Skaggs in a devastating tragedy. And then Tommy La Stella, who just makes his all-star, makes the all-star team, his first all-star game, and then fouls a pitch off his shin, and boom, he breaks his right tibia. He's going to be out 8 to 10 weeks. Then Brian Goodwin gets hurt. Justin Upton gets hurt the last couple of games. They're short-term injuries, but it doesn't look like either guy is necessarily going to be in today, and yet they keep winning. Mike Trout, quote, "We're going to get through it. We've got a great group of guys. We're going to pick each other up. We're going to have moments where we're upset, and we're wondering why, but we're going to pick each other up and try to win some ball games." All that being said, Lance Lynn's not a guy I'm really in any hurry to bet against. He's gone at least 6 innings in 12 straight starts. He's 8-2 in those ball games. Incredibly consistent. Last outing, 8 shutout innings against Tampa last Friday. Manager Chris Woodward, that's as good as we've seen him for sure. Not in any rush to bet against Lance Lynn. He has been an impressive surprise for Texas so far this season, even though right now the Angels are playing a little bit over their heads and may continue to do so despite the injury woes.
How about those Dodgers, Teddy, looking to walk off the Padres in a new series tonight with the Padres, not looking good versus those San Francisco Giants. And it seems like a new hero Teddy's made each and every night for the Dodgers. Last night, another walkover, this time with Cody Bellinger at the helm. Dodgers now opened up at 200, Teddy, now sitting around minus 220. Total of 8.5 going to be at Dodger Stadium tonight, 9:10 Eastern, 6:10 Pacific. Padres now 42-44 in the season, 19-20 away. How about those Dodgers, Teddy? 59-29. And oh, yeah, sporting a 36-9 record at home. Dinelson Lamet takes the mound. Hasn't shown yet this year in Major League Baseball. And, of course, versus Ryu, he's had a pretty good run.
Yeah, Dodgers have had a pretty good run at home, obviously. Their last 5 home games have all ended the exact same way. Everybody celebrating at a home plate. 5 straight walk-off wins at home. They did last night in the bottom of the 10th with Cody Bellinger's game-winning home run against Arizona. 1-1 victory, worth noting, in a game where, the people like to take the run line when they see the $2 favorites. And that, obviously, with a team that keeps walking off, is difficult to do. Ryu's coming off that bad outing in Colorado. We talked about it a little bit earlier. He gave up 7 runs over 4 innings. The first time that he's allowed more than 2 earned runs in a game all season. His first loss since April. He has owned this Padres lineup 7-1 against San Diego in 10 starts with a 2.26 ERA against them. I mean, the Padres are stocking up on impressive young arts. Talk about Lamet and Paddock and Lucchesi and Strahm and Lauer and Quantrill and Logan Allen. I mean, they've got a lot of impressive young arms who are trying to put it together. This is the guy who was really good as a rookie in 2017, 139 strikeouts in 114 innings. Mid-90s fastball, above-average slider. Hurt last year, long rehab. He pitched well against the Dodgers back in 2017. 1 run, struck out 10 over 6 innings. Of course, lost that game 1-0. That's what the Dodgers do. I don't try to make cases for betting against L.A. Not right now, not in this price range. Although, frankly, I do worry about Ryu today. And the Padres off a dismal homestand. They needed to get out of town. Maybe it's the right spot. On the other hand, maybe they go into the All-Star break on a nasty skid, even nastier than the series they just had at home against San Francisco, in which absolutely nothing went right for San Diego.
Dodgers continue to walk people off, Teddy. Let's see about free agency walk-off. Still waiting for Kawhi Leonard to make his decision. Yesterday, they took it to a new level. Plane comes into town, Teddy. Helicopters finally flying over limousines, checking out, scoping out where these hotels are, where these meetings are going to take place with the front office ownership and Kawhi and his people. And my favorite reports that come out here, Teddy, and we've seen it all along for the past week, and it makes me laugh a little bit. Jalen Rose comes out and says he's going to sign a 2-year deal. That's what they're talking about to stay in Toronto. A report comes out later tonight. A 2-year deal was never even discussed for Kawhi Leonard, and he's going to make his decision up in the next couple of days. Thank you for providing all of this stuff to us, Kawhi, here, because nobody knows anything, but those odds are changing on what some of these people are saying, Teddy.
Yeah, so I was on Twitter yesterday. There was someone from Toronto. He said that he just saw Kawhi at a sandwich stop, and he asked for the card. So if you get 6 sandwiches, you get the 7th one for free. And he wouldn't do that unless he was staying in Toronto. Yeah. The markets are concerned. Kawhi is going to affect the odds, and there's talk that whatever team he lands on becomes the favorite, because there is no favorite right now for the 2020 NBA title. And Jalen Rose comes out and says, I'm 99% sure, and boom, the markets move right away. As high as 16-1 in some spots yesterday, down to 6-1 by the end of the day. The books don't want to get caught with their pants down based on where Kawhi lands, and they're adjusting the odds pretty quickly and pretty appropriately. Frankly, I see nothing in the NBA futures market that I'm excited about at this stage of the game. Maybe we let the dust settle a little bit.
Yep, and that wraps it up here for the 4th of July edition of That Betting Show. Thank you guys for spending time with us today. Your one-stop shop for all your sports betting needs. Once again, he's Teddy Sabransky. Give him a follow on Twitter at Teddy_covers. I'm Donnie Seymour at Rights MVP. We'll be back for Friday, a bonanza episode, because after that, both Teddy and I go on a break for a few weeks here to recharge our batteries for football season. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Good luck on your bets today. Teddy and I will be back tomorrow for another edition of That Betting Show.